Bad Boys Ride or Die is king at the box office. The Acolyte premiered its first 2 episodes on Disney+. We got a full-length trailer for Alien Romulus, and Jordan Peele met with Marvel, possibly to discuss an X-Men movie. Let's get into this week's movie news.
What's up, movie friends, and welcome back to Raiders of the Lost podcast, the ultimate film and TV podcast. And this is the weekly news episode where we go through all of the industry news so you don't have to. We watched the trailers, we read all of the articles, we did all of the extensive research. So you
read all the articles?
I read half the articles.
Yeah, there we go.
You read half.
I read half, you read half.
We share the load.
Share the load.
Now you don't have to. You can just sit back, relax, and listen to what's going on in the film and TV world. And I've been saying it for weeks. Bad Boys Ride or Die was going to be a big hit. I've been saying it's going to be a sleeper hit this summer. I've been called delusional. People have said I was wrong. People have said I didn't know what I was talking about. Guess what, motherfuckers? Bad Boys Ride or Die premiered with $53 million domestically this weekend.
Domestic opening weekend. Remember 2 weeks ago, everyone's saying that movie theaters are dead, movies are dead. What do we tell you guys? What did we say? We said relax. Last week we said everyone relax, take a chill pill.
I said this is going to happen.
Okay. It's going to be okay. We had a couple duds. Furiosa bombed. That's an actual fact.
Yeah.
It didn't even reach $100 million yet, I don't think. Maybe in 3 weeks. But in Fall Guy was not great for performance. But Bad Boys Ride or Die, 53 opening weekend domestic. It had a $22 million Friday.
$26 million.
$26 million Friday.
Just on Friday.
This is insane. I mean, it's not insane, but we predicted this 7 days ago.
Yeah. I've been saying it, man. And it's good to be right. It's good to be right.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
And I mean, it is just good old-fashioned action fun at the theater. If you want to see it, we recommend it. I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd. It's a good time.
I had a blast. It's so silly and fun and ludicrous and ridiculous at times. Lots of great jokes. Martin Lawrence is hysterical. We're going to do a full episode on it probably in like a week or 2.
Yeah.
So definitely recommend checking it out if you want some dumb, fun action and some cool scenes. And, you know, we're back with Marcus and Mike, and it's just a good time.
Yeah, it's great.
Silly. They lean into it so hard with the humor and the ridiculousness. I had a good time.
Yeah. And next up in second place, the Garfield movie came in with $10 million on its second weekend, doing pretty well.
I believe it's his third weekend.
Third weekend, sorry. If John Krasinski's film is still holding strong in the top 3 on its fourth weekend with $7 million. The other premiere this week was The Watchers, the horror film, which debuted with a pretty lukewarm $6.5 million. It's also getting pretty bad reviews from audiences and critics alike, so it's not like a big hit, but it could make some money. It's obviously a very low-budget film. And then Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes finished out the top 5 with $5.7 million, closing in on $400 million globally this weekend.
And Mad Max, I mean, if you notice, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, is no longer in the top 5 at the box office. Neither is The Fall Guy. Furiosa right now, its global box office gross is just $119 million globally after 3 weeks at the box office.
And to put that into perspective, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and If both came out before Furiosa, but they're still in the top 5. So it didn't have staying power at all.
Unfortunately, you know, it's a great movie. It's really well made, but man, what a dud. $180 million budget, pulling $120 at the box office. I mean, they're going to end up eating about $100 to $150 million on this movie after splitting with theaters and then marketing costs, which probably put it up to $250 million. Yeah. So, I mean, the studio probably made $60 million, $70 million from tickets. So far, it's not good news.
Their saving grace will be if it does very well rentals after theaters.
Unfortunately, and unfortunately, because George Miller is planning another one, and if he makes a Max movie, maybe Warner Brothers won't greenlight it.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
All right, let's get into the news, though. I think one of the most exciting bits of news is we've been getting all these nuggets about the new Office TV series and how it's going to take place in the same world, and it's going to follow a Midwestern newspaper and its volunteer reporters as it's historically dying, which is obviously in the same sort of motif and theme of a paper company dying because of the digital era, same thing with newspapers. And the show, which will star Donald Gleason, is going to be called The Paper, which is perfect. It's perfect. It's a perfect title.
And we were talking about it like a month ago when it was announced. And we said it would really, another version of the show would really only work if it was a dying industry. And so a newspaper seems to make total sense. So
I'm excited about this. Yeah. It sounds better and better.
And I'm sure with Donald Gleason, he's a big star, hugely talented actor. Also very good with comedy that I think he's going to show everyone how funny he is. So I'm looking forward to seeing him as the lead, and then I can't wait to see for more casting announcements.
He did a lot of great comedy on these shows in Ireland before he made it really big. Obviously, his father's Brendan Gleeson, but Donald's insanely talented. He's been in so many great projects, but there's some great videos I've seen on YouTube of him on this comedy series, and it's really ridiculous. I can't recommend checking him out enough, but I can't remember what the show is called, but his comedy chops are off the chains in that show. And I think he's got this great dry sense of humor that he really can tap into, and I think that resonates with a lot of audiences. So I'm excited to see him leading out this show. It should be great.
Yeah, I mean, he's Peter Rabbit, so yeah, he's very funny. He's very charming. He is Peter Rabbit.
Yeah.
All right, next up, The Acolyte, Disney's new TV show, debuted with $4.8 million. 4.8 million viewers. I'm still in box office mindset. 4.8 million viewers.
You're just so hyped about Bad Boys, man.
Yeah, in its first 24 hours, making it the biggest Disney Plus premiere of this year. So it's getting pretty good reactions and positive reviews from critics and fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's got that mix like all Disney projects have of like people don't like it, people like it. It's always a divisive crowd with Disney projects. But a lot of the people we've talked to that have watched it, a lot of people in the Discord or listeners of the show, they really enjoy it. They say it's one of the better projects that Disney Plus has put out for series work. So, I heard that like they're actually building sets again.
Yes.
And not just using the volume for everything, which is really cool.
They're starting to learn.
Yeah.
The audiences are fine-tuned to the faster, cheaper, express version of making movies and TV shows that audiences are tired of.
Yeah. Moving on to Venom: The Last Dance. We got our full-length trailer, 3-minute trailer for Venom: The Last Dance. It's released just this past couple of days, and it hits theaters on October 25th. It looks exactly what we expect from a Venom movie. Silly, ridiculous, very funny, and also just like they're shooting shots. They're like, let's do it. Let's make a Venom horse. Why not? This sounds like a lot of fun.
The symbiote horse looks cool.
Tom Hardy's so likable and charismatic, and he looks hysterical, and he's a great fit for Eddie Brock, and the back and forth between him and Venom is hysterical. And we got an opening where he bites off the heads of 4 guys, which is pretty terrific. So they're leaning right into it. I hope this is a hard R. And the action looks really terrific. Lots of Chiwetel Ejiofor is in this movie as well. He seems like the main antagonist to Eddie Brock. It seems like he's sort of...
No, it seems like Stephen Graham's going to be the villain.
No, but I mean in terms of the opposing force to Eddie Brock, because he's trying to take down Venom because there's this army of people, of symbiotes are coming to Earth.
Yeah.
And in a way, he's trying to stop Eddie, but also save the planet at the same time, save the world.
And it seems like Stephen Graham will be playing like the big bad monster.
Yeah.
Some kind of symbiote giant monster. Maybe it's the one that we see at the end. Maybe that's Stephen Graham's. But if you get him, just from the shots of him, it seems like he's like going to be the ultimate antagonist.
Yeah, it's a story that we've not seen before. I mean, it's Avengers in a lot of ways, sort of this alien army coming to Earth to destroy everyone. We have to sort of team up together.
And I think Tom Hardy was like, let me get a bunch of my mates in this movie, because we got Stephen Graham, Chiwetel, Rhys Ifans, who's the bearded guy. It just seems like a great cast of British actors.
Yeah, really great
them.
Brits.
I mean, Rhys is Irish, I believe. So
I think so, yeah. But UK-ish. England. I know it's not the UK, but like that area.
So Ireland is
UK,
not in the UK.
Ireland, Scotland, Wales, like that whole part of the world. They have similar culture. Similar culture.
They're all islands.
They're all pretty close to each other.
Also, no Michelle Williams, and Juno Temple is joining the cast, who's a great actor.
Yes.
She's been in Ted Lasso and a bunch of great films. So
She's having a little bit of a resurgence in her career, it seems like.
well, she never really hit it big, and it looks like she is finally now. She's had a slow rise.
She had a rise, and then Dark Knight Rises was sort of a peak for her. She had that a supporting role in that.
As Selena's friend.
And then she was on a couple TV shows, but she kind of left big movies. She was doing a bunch of indie films, but it's cool to see her in a big project.
Ted Lasso really blew her up. Yeah, she had a pretty fast early start to her career, but she's getting there. Oh yeah, Killer Joe, she's in.
Yeah.
And Horns. Yeah, you're right. She did have some big roles early on, but she's getting there. She's a great actor.
Speaking of Avengers, Sean Levy, who is directing Deadpool and Wolverine, is in early talks to direct the next Avengers movie. Marvel plans to meet with other directors while they wait on a decision from him. And I think that's probably a really great choice, because Deadpool and Wolverine looks to be awesome, and that's a big film. Lots going on, I'm sure. You're blending in so many different timelines of the MCU into one big picture, which is sort of going to be a big, in a lot of ways, reset button for the MCU to go forward, hopefully. And I think it'd be very wise to put him in that role of pioneering the next Avengers movie.
He's a reliable guy. He's been making big budget films for over a decade now.
And TV, yeah.
Yeah, and TV, and he's made actually some really great music videos too. So he's just top of the game. If you want, it's smart of them to start going to reliable directors again instead of not first timers, but kind of novices to the big budget game.
Indie directors.
So Sean Levy's an excellent choice, and it's in good hands if they get someone like him for sure.
Like someone wins a prize at Sundance, and then Marvel's like, "Hey, let's make a $400 million movie." Like, all right, my movie was literally $450,000.
Don't worry about it. We got it.
You can do it. Not that you can't. It's just it's difficult. Anyways, we've talked about that a lot. And moving on next to Alien Romulus, we finally got our first official trailer. This movie looks excellent. Anthony and I are doing an entire breakdown in tomorrow's episode on Alien Romulus, breaking down the trailer as well as everything we know about the project, where it fits in the Alien World franchise timeline, how it fits in between Alien and Aliens, and kind of a lot of cool theories. We sort of break down some of the shots that are going on in the teaser trailer, talking about things like synthetically grown face huggers, what that means for the franchise and the movie going forward, as well as this new young cast, why the cast is so young. So if you want to hear us break down all of our thoughts about this movie that we're very excited about from Fede Alvarez, tune in tomorrow for our episode on everything we know about Alien Romulus.
It's a great breakdown, and we kept it pretty spoiler-free because it's all spec.
Yeah, it's
all
just theories,
speculation.
and like we're just chatting.
Yeah, we're just like, whatever. We don't know what's going on.
What if the face hugger is a good guy? You know,
Just invert expectations.
I was inverted.
That's it. Ryan Johnson made it. It would be like that.
The last face hugger.
All right, next up, some more Marvel news. Apparently, the rumor is Jordan Peele has met with Marvel to discuss possibly making an X-Men movie, but it didn't work out. That's the rumor that is spreading across the internet right now.
You know, I think it would be cool to see Jordan do a big IP, an established IP. However, I think he's just got so many great original ideas that I want him to kind of stay doing his own thing, you know?
Yeah.
He doesn't have to go into an IP. Obviously, so many great big directors have been doing independent films or horror or something like that. But I think Jordan Peele is really just shining in his own verse, his own kind of world that he does. So I'm happy to see him not do a Marvel movie.
Well, I'm sure he wanted something like more control than they were probably willing to give him.
Yeah.
And so, because he's a very particular, singular vision in terms of filmmaking and writing. So I'm sure they met with him and he's like, this is how I would do it. And they were like, would you want to do it like this? And he was probably like, no, fuck that. I'm out. But I mean,
pretty harsh words, Anthony.
They do need, it's smart to approach established, acclaimed directors like that to try and get them to take the reins of these big properties, especially for launching the X-Men. Mm-hmm. They need to have a really good director who knows what they're doing with storytelling and with making a big film. So they need to get the right person for X-Men for sure. Agreed. He's a great choice, so unfortunately it's not going to work out. All right, next up. I think that the Academy listens to our podcast.
Probably.
Because the Academy is exploring the possibility, that's what they said, of adding a stunt category to the Oscars. Quote, we're talking to members of the stunt community, said Academy CEO Bill Kramer, and the Fall Guy had a huge part in this.
Yeah, I think that movie just sort of, because they take jabs at the Academy, like, do they give Oscars away from that? And Goslin's like, no. And I think that movie shed a lot of light on the stunt community, especially the emergence of so many stunt directors, stunt performers turned directors. I think that's a big deal as well. You know, the David Leitches, the Chad Stahelskis, they are getting a lot of power in Hollywood. They're making great movies, and now they got some sway. And I think that audiences are getting in tune with the fact that stunt people are so important and integral to the world of movie making. The way I'm curious how they're going to go about it, whether this is just a little fodder, like a little tease, like, oh, yeah, we'll talk about it. Maybe in 10 years it can happen. Hopefully it happens really soon. And I'm curious how they would go about it, whether it'd be sort of like a Grammy situation where like the best single, so the best stunt gets an Oscar. Or I feel like if I was in charge of how this would go, I would probably say give it to the stunt coordinators. So whoever's the stunt coordinator of a movie, they win the Oscar. Just like how costume department, the person in charge of costume and wardrobe, they get the Oscar. The person in charge of makeup, hairstyling, they get the Oscar. So the person who's in charge of that department, the head of the department, that's who I would assume would get the Oscar.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's the stunt coordinator, and you do it for the overall film's entire stunt work.
Yeah, versus just one big stunt, because that might make people do some crazy dangerous things. Not that they don't already do, but that might feel too much unnecessary competition to like, let's do the craziest thing to get an Oscar for one person. If that makes sense, it might not create the best reaction, but I would give it to the coordinator.
Yeah, it would be the department head. So it would just be like any of the other department heads for sure. And it's just silly that it's kind of been, not kind of, but it's been absolutely ignored by the academies until some of them have done it recently, but completely ignored by this academy because it's such an integral part of many films. And to think that like maybe they've always viewed it as like, oh, it's not artistic, quotation marks, so it shouldn't be awarded in a way. Maybe that's been the mindset of like, oh, it doesn't seem like it's like that much of an art form, quote, air quotes. So I'm not sure.
It's it's pretty odd. I always
compared to something like hair and makeup or costuming or production design or all that.
Yeah, it's too bad because it's so kick-ass and so important. But hopefully they get an award. But yeah, I would give it to the stunt coordinator probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's move on to more news. Peaky Blinders. We have official news that it has officially been greenlit by Netflix, the movie. Cillian Murphy will star and executive produce. Tom Harper will direct, with Stephen Knight writing the script. Filming begins later this year, so the entire team is back. The creative vision behind the show, they're all back.
I love that Cillian's producing in it. And
executive producing, so
executive producing, and then
cash.
Yeah, and then Stephen Knight writing the script is huge because he's been the showrunner of the TV show, and so the director Tom Harper, he's made The Aeronauts, that was the Eddie Redmayne film about with Felicity Jones, The Heart of Stone with Gal Gadot, and then The Woman in Black sequel. So he's done some stuff. So he's a very capable director. So. I mean, I'm excited for this. I can't wait.
He's done some stuff.
It's Peaky Blinders ended on a great cliffhanger, so I'm glad that they're going to be able to wrap it up because I was like, fuck, they're not doing another season. We need to see how it ends. So I can't wait. Also, we got a new trailer for Maxine. It's not so much a full trailer, but it's a teaser and an announcement. They're going to be doing on June 18th, one night sneak preview of Maxine in theaters across the country. So if you want to see a sneak peek of Maxine, and it's going to have Q&A interviews with Ty West and some of the actors, check that out at some local theaters. So keep an eye out for it.
We have some Eli Roth news. So first of all, Borderlands, his film, which is coming out this summer, released its first clip online. Jack Black plays a robot in it. It looks pretty funny. And then we have
Jack Black plays a robot in it.
Yeah,
that's your synopsis.
No, the clip.
Oh, okay.
In the clip, he's leaking like parts.
Gotcha,
it's really
gotcha.
funny. He's like, I have to let it out.
I thought that was your description.
He's like
of the
basically
film.
taking a shit with components.
Got it.
And then there's a little action scene that starts up. So if you want to see the tone of the movie, it feels very much like Fallout mixed with Guardians of the Galaxy, as well as Hostel news. A Hostel series is in the works. Paul Giamatti will star in the series, and Eli Roth will be set to produce it.
Fucking A, man. He's going to be like the Hostel runner, I bet. That's cool.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
He runs the Hostel facility.
Yeah, that would make sense.
With like a Eastern European accent.
Dude, I'm so in for that. He's been wanting to play a villain for a while.
Has he?
Yeah, because he said he dreams to do a Bond villain, and
he'd be a great Bond villain.
I mean, the last time he played a villain was in
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, but I mean, that was a cameo. It was like 2 scenes.
It is 2 scenes.
I'm
still a villain.
No, but like a full-on villain. It was the movie where he played the producer who got covered in blue when he went in the pool.
Oh, Big Fat Liar?
Big Fat Liar, yeah. He's great in Big Fat Liar. That was so funny. Frankie Muniz.
I'm sure he's been a villain in some stuff since then.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways, we got some exciting news about I Am Legend 2. Michael B. Jordan says they are hard at work on the script. They don't have a filming date yet, but he said, quote, being somebody that I've looked up to for a really long time, to be able to work with Will Smith is something that I'm really looking forward to. So he is confirming that Will Smith will be working with Michael B. Jordan in this film. So I suppose they are truly erasing the ending of the theatrical release, and they're sticking with the alternate ending of Will Smith's character getting away from that situation and going off into survival mode.
People are going to be confused.
Yeah, so they gonna in the trailer they're gonna probably, I guarantee in the first trailer, they're gonna put some bits of the alternate ending to open it up so the audience understands, oh, he got away.
That's the tricky thing with the script. You have to somehow in the opening of the movie let the audience know that, remember that ending from the last movie? that's not what happened. Really, that was a dream. It was a joke.
Our bad.
Ha 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 ha. Like maybe he wakes up and they redo the ending. I don't know, but they're gonna have to figure out a way to let the audience know that that's not the ending of what's going on, and we're continuing the story. He never died.
Yeah, I would say Warner Brothers with their streaming version of the film on all platforms, they might just put a new version up with the alternate ending.
Yeah, but that doesn't even. I feel like that doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
I mean, going forward, sure, but like for people who aren't going to rewatch it and remember the ending, I've seen that movie like 4 or 5 times, and so for me, they're going to have to do something really effective for me to enjoy the movie. For people who like this, because it's a great movie. I Am Legend. For the people who love that movie, who've seen it multiple times, they're going to have to be like, okay, we're going to give you a really great explanation of why what you saw 15 years ago isn't the truth.
Maybe they'll open with the alternate scene.
Yeah, maybe
they'll open the film with that.
Redo it and then who knows?
That's what I would.
That's probably the biggest test right now. Or
it's a hurdle, big hurdle.
All right, but moving on. Speaking of hurdles, this has nothing to do with hurdles, but there's a Hunger Games prequel in the works again. Another prequel.
It's a prequel of the prequel.
So the Hunger Games Sunrise of the Reaping novel is set during the second quarter quell, which was won by Hamish Abernathy, obviously played by Woody Harrelson in the first film franchise. Now, this book will be released in March 2025, so we can obviously expect a movie to be getting made probably at the same fucking time and probably come out, if not, in probably 2026. So the Hunger Games Sunrise of the Reaping, which is when Hamish won the Hunger Games.
The film was confirmed for 2026.
Oh, is it confirmed?
Yeah. So it's going to come out a year after the book comes out.
Sweet. So
they give everyone time to read the book.
Give
us a year.
Hunger Games. Yeah, she needs her sales, man. Another
one.
It's
a prequel of a prequel.
Well, technically, no, it's not a prequel of a prequel because the last prequel, Ballads of Songbirds and Snake, is before Hamish's time.
Yeah.
So it's before this.
So what's the quarter quell?
The second quarter quell is... Oh, I haven't read the books in so long.
Second quarter... Because I'm trying to think, because the Snow's origin was... The Hunger Games have been around for a few years. It's still getting its footing.
Yeah, he just made them super fun and sexy.
In the second quarter quell. Quarter quell.
I haven't read these books since the 2010s.
So it's the 50th Hunger Games.
Okay.
Quarter.
Second quarter, of course. That makes total sense.
Yeah, it makes sense now. So Hamish was in the 50th Hunger Games, which had double the number of tributes reaped from the district. So this occurred with 24 years before Katniss and Peeta were forced into the Hunger Games.
It came out of nowhere.
Peeta! Greasy bear. Sorry. Sorry, Jennifer Lords. Sorry. All right. Whatever. I thought they were gonna do a sequel to Snow, but I guess not.
All right. Max news. Warner Brothers is immediately raising the price of its ad-free model for Max. Monthly plan will rise from $15.99 to $16.99.
A fucking dollar, guys.
The annual plan will rise from $149.99 to $169.99.
That's still not a bad price. It's not bad.
If you watch a lot of stuff on Prime,
it's Max.
I mean, on Max.
I watch a lot of Max, so it's worth it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, they have really good television.
Yeah, they
have some good TV. I just started Sympathizer.
It's obviously they did this right before they dropped House of the Dragon.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know how these corporations think, man. Look at the timing.
They didn't think we noticed $1.
Oh, I fucking noticed. Let's drop it right before our biggest show of the year.
Just throw in like 99 cents onto that. Let's make it a full dollar. It's fucking full dollar. Also, House of the Dragon reactions are great. People are saying it's epic, emotional, personal, and just insane action and visual effects. So I can't wait for it. I'm looking forward to this.
So we got
something I'm not sure about though.
Yeah, so there's this massive video game convention and conference where a bunch of video game studios announced and showed some footage and stuff for their upcoming games. There's a ton to talk about. We're not big gamers, but we do play some stuff. But one that's more related to movies is Dune Awakening, which is sort of very connected to the connective tissue of the films that Denis Villeneuve has made. Obviously, they're drawing inspiration from the exact visuals of the movies are going into this game. And we've seen some teasers, and we've talked about this in the past. We got a little bit of a plot, and it's a reality where Paul Atreides was never born. So Lady Jessica gave birth to a daughter, fulfilling
Paulina.
fulfilling the fulfilling her obligations of the Bene Gesserit's wishes and commands instead of going against them and birthing a son. And then I guess you play as a character in this world where
So she wouldn't be the Quasi-Haderach?
there is no Kwisatz Haderach, no.
No.
And there's no Lisa Al
So she would just be like another Bene Gesserit member.
probably.
Yeah.
And
Continue trying to get pregnant.
exactly.
To
She just
extend the
continue the
bloodline.
line. So I'm guessing that, but you probably play as a character. I don't know. I think you play as Paul Atreides in a different future. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure.
It's odd.
The trailer looks great, but I remember
Yeah.
when I watched the gameplay, it didn't look terrific.
Uh-huh.
But we'll see. But it looks exactly like the movie, which is cool.
Yeah. It's weird to not put Paul in there.
He's like narrating, and he's in the trailer, like talking to camera.
Yeah.
Talking about how this reality, this future that I didn't exist, this reality I didn't exist in, how he sees it.
Sniffing up some spice.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Just snorting that spice stuff.
Throwing it on your tacos.
Spice tacos.
Spice tacos.
We say taco like
English people now.
now.
Taco.
Taco.
All right, next up, Deadpool 3 has been announced to have a runtime of a pretty healthy 2 hours and 7 minutes, which is going to be the longest Deadpool film ever.
Perfect runtime
Yeah.
because so many movies are 2.5 hours that don't need to be.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
Yeah. Plus, it seems like this, I mean, it's going to take 30 minutes just to get them going, so I'm down for an over 2 hour movie, for sure.
Nice. No, I am too, but like so many movies are like 2:45, 2.5 that don't need to be.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there like, when is this gonna end? When? Just I want to go home. Moving on to Terminator news. Timothy Olyphant will voice the Terminator in the Terminator anime series, releasing in September on Netflix.
Raylan Givens, the Terminator. I love it. It's a good choice. Love that guy. All right, next up. Watch Dogs, which is a live-action film. Tom Blythe has been cast alongside Sophie Wilde. The game adaptation is played from a third-person perspective, and its world is navigated on foot or by vehicle. This is set within a fictionalized version of Chicago metropolitan area in 2013. The single-player story follows gray hat hacker and vigilante Aiden Pierce's quest for revenge after the killing of his niece. This has been, I think, long in development, a Watch Dogs adaptation.
Yeah. Looks cool. I mean, Tom Blythe's really talented. Obviously, he led
What was he in?
Hunger Games Ballad Song
Oh,
and Snakes.
yeah, he's great.
He played
He's
Snow.
fantastic. Yeah. He's
I-
also in the new Billy the Kid TV series.
Yeah, I think he fits this world really well. It should be pretty cool. I've never played the game, but I've seen gameplay and I've seen some photos, and I think this is a really good chance for a video game adaptation that will be really great.
I'm telling you, that's a new trend in Hollywood.
We got some SpongeBob news, everybody.
Oh, my God.
A Plankton movie will release in 2025 on Netflix.
So they're doing Sandy and Plankton solo films.
verse, man.
Yeah,
SpongeBob verse.
SpongeBob verse.
When's Patrick getting a
A
movie?
Bikini Bottom verse. I love that.
That's what
Why
we all
not?
needed.
Why not? Speaking of animation, I think this is the most exciting news of the week, honestly. Anyone who's a fan of Wallace and Gromit: The Wrong Trousers understands that Feathers McGraw is the greatest villain in movie history.
He's returning.
And they've made a sequel called Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul. They released the little teaser trailer, and it's Feathers McGraw getting out of prison. It is absolutely genius. This is going to release later this year on Netflix, and I'm not sure what it's going to be about, but all we know is Feathers McGraw is back. It's just great, just 3 cuts of prison items being put on a tray, and then his little chicken hat is the last item on the tray, and then it cuts to him walking, and then it it cuts to him in the prison cell hallway in shadows, and then he walks into light like in Skyfall, and it reveals Feathers McGraw, and he cracks his neck. I can't wait. Now the original film, the short film, The Wrong Trousers, actually won the Oscar for Best Short Film when it was released in the 90s. So it's a really well-received, highly acclaimed film. You should check it out.
You got it, yeah.
26 minutes.
I've just seen clips here and there.
It's so good. It's really perfect and hysterical. And Feathers McGraw is just amazing. I can't wait to see him back in action.
Nice. So this show, Baby Reindeer, which has been taking Netflix by storm, a lot of people watching it saying it's terrific. It's about a stand-up comedian who has a stalker, and it's based off real life experiences of the star of the show, who I believe wrote it as well. Now, a couple weeks ago, there was news of a lawsuit for the real-life Martha, the stalker character in the show, saying that she was going to sue Netflix for the damages, and now the lawsuit is official, and she's seeking at least $170 million in damages.
Damn.
Holy crap. So I don't know if this is legitimate, like she has a case, like this isn't true, what's happened on the show is all fake, and it's making me out in a bad public light, defamation. Or maybe it's proof that she is a really big stalker and is just going to extra lengths to do this.
Yeah, but even if she was a stalker, it's still defamation.
True.
You know, I think I think she absolutely has a case, and I think she.
I don't know. I have no idea if she has a case. I don't know the details of the case. You know, I don't know the details of the story.
I'm guessing from my law background.
Sure, yeah, you're like, I think she has a case. You haven't even read any. You've read 2 sentences.
Well, I mean, I know it paints her in a horrible light.
Yeah, I know, but what if they're true stories?
Says who?
Says I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Exactly.
You don't know.
Exactly.
What if they're all true?
Yeah, but do you have proof that they're true?
Maybe they do have proof that they're true.
It's just stories, man.
What if he's got like texts and phone calls or something?
Well, I'm sure there's more than just texts and phone calls on the show.
We'll see.
They're filming like the thing with real life adaptations of real life people is like you're portraying them in scenes, and you're any biopic and whatever it is, your actors are saying the lines that the real people never said. True. And you're putting them in scenarios that never really happened. You're just trying to tell the story, and so you are fictionalizing a lot of it. And so I guarantee there's a lot of it that never happened that's in that show.
And there's obviously a different line between someone who's in the public spotlight versus someone who's just a civilian in defamation cases against them.
And this is not a documentary. If it was a documentary, it'd be fine because you're just using objective proof in recordings or whatever. But this is, a portrayal of her that has really, if you think about it, everybody who's seen the show probably thinks she's insane.
True.
Or crazy. So I think that based upon my law background, she absolutely has a case.
Your first response was like, yeah, I've looked over the case files.
I never said that.
No, that was your tone. That was your tone.
It's just obvious.
Your tone was like, I stayed up till 3 a.m. looking at the case.
No, I'm Tom Cruise in, what's it called?
The lawyer movie?
Yeah, fuck.
A
Few Good Men.
Oh, A Few Good Men.
I don't even have to read the case.
I thought you meant the other lawyer movie.
I don't even have to prep, man. I don't have to prep. I know the case.
That other
I know
movie.
I know it's a home run.
What's the one where he does cartwheel in the street?
Oh, The Firm.
The Firm.
Yeah.
Don't love that adaptation.
When he does cartwheels with a random kid.
Yeah.
It's not even cartwheels. It's like front flips.
He does a
gymnast
routine. Yeah.
For no reason.
That's what I mean. That's not a great adaptation of that book, which is an excellent
If you
book.
take that scene out of it, it's still good. Like, when you talking about that film, you just complain about that bit.
No, I complain. No, there's a lot about that movie I complain about.
Like what?
The whole situation. Well, I don't want to spoil the book, but the whole situation where the guy who's in Cabo or
Gene
whatever,
Hackman or
he's in the tropical island. That whole situation is all fucked up. They fucking ruined it, man. It's all different than the book. The book it's so much better. It's just like, why change it? It's so good. It's so well written. There's a lot about that movie that they fucked up.
All right. Okay, I get it. I get it. Because every time you do complain about that movie, you say, "Why did you do cartwheels?" That's all you ever say. That's all you ever say.
I get it. He's a hot shot, but like he's just doing cartwheels in the street.
Well, the kid was doing them first.
I know, but still, it's just unnecessary.
I think Tom just wanted to show off his new skill.
I don't think Tom actually did that.
Yeah, he did.
The 4 cartwheels.
You don't think Tom Cruise did that?
Not Tom Cruise in like 1988.
I bet he did.
I don't know.
Dude, that guy's been training since like the 80s.
I know, exactly, but this was pre-Tom Cruise does every single stunt he's ever done.
Yeah, but he's not jumping out of a helicopter. He's just doing fucking cartwheels, man.
You make it sound like it's easy.
I'm not saying it's easy, but it's Tom Cruise.
It wasn't just cartwheels. It was a gymnast.
I get it.
I don't know what those flips are called.
Yeah, it's like the flips where you do land on your hands and you continue to flip.
Yeah, and then he did like a front flip in the back. Like, that takes years and years to do.
How do you know he hadn't been training for it? How do you know he didn't have that scene in mind and spent months training?
I don't think so.
That sounds like something he would do.
Maybe now,
I'm going to look this up.
You should.
Did Tom Cruise do flips in The Firm? Question mark. Okay, for some reason he was also willing, blah, 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 blah.
What'd you find?
Blah, blah, blah. Did Tom Cruise do... No, not the halo jump.
The Firm flip stunt.
Yeah, I can't... Yes, he broke his ankle doing it.
Really?
Yeah.
He broke his ankle too.
That's what it says.
Okay, I guess he did do it.
It is the internet though, so.
The firm backflips. Did he really do it? Let's see. If he did it, then I love him even more. There's no, dude. That's. Hold on. I'm watching the clip right now. It's all. Oh my god, he did.
It's him.
Okay, it's him.
It's him. It's him. It's absolutely him.
Yeah, he started it with a one take and then cut.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Ready? I'm watching it now.
I just watched it.
Yeah, he's in the fucking frame, asshole. Yep, that's him.
You can tell because his form's not perfect. Yeah.
Exactly.
Tom Cruise, baby.
How dare you doubt him? How dare you doubt Tom? What's wrong
Stop
with you?
screaming into the microphone,
How
Anthony.
dare you doubt Tom
People
Cruise?
are listening with headphones on.
How dare you doubt him?
Sorry, everybody. You're probably
Man,
deaf because of
you
Anthony.
Disappointed me.
Well, speaking of Tom Cruise, our last bit of news.
You
involves
can't
Tom.
say this. I'm going to say this.
I want to say it, though.
No.
It's a big deal.
You just doubted the man. I'm going to say it. Edge of Tomorrow had its 10-year anniversary the other day. And Tom Cruise made a great Instagram post recounting the film and its experience. He said, quote, "It's been 10 years since Edge of Tomorrow first hit theaters. I want to thank the opportunity to thank Emily Blunt once again for being such a great friend and brilliant actress. I love her performance in this film, her dedication, her humor, her vulnerability and power. She brought it all. This anniversary brings back incredible memories. My first collaboration with Doug Liman, rejoining the indomitable Brendan Gleeson, and my first time working alongside the great Bill Paxton. His performance in the character he created left an indelible mark on this film. Hitting this kind of tone was no easy task. The writing and storytelling of Christopher McQuarrie made the movie work. Along with the dedication of our entire team who helped bring it to the screen, it was an absolute joy creating it with you all. To everyone who has enjoyed this film over the years, thank you for being a fan, and thank you to Warner Brothers for making this film. I can't wait to share more about the great movies we're working on. Also, I did the flips in the fur."
Regardless of what James on Raiders of the Lost podcast thought.
That was totally me. That was totally me. Fuck that guy.
Anthony broke himself over there.
I was trying to keep it together while I read, because I came up with the idea like in the middle of.
Wow,
reading
did you came up with the idea in the middle of saying it all? Really happy for you.
Oh my god, that was funny, man.
That was pretty
Boom
good.
roasted.
Look at Anthony. Oh my god, he's broken.
Oh man.
You cried?
Oh my god, yeah.
The second time I've cried of laughing today.
Oh fuck, that was funny. Oh man. Whew. I gotcha.
We got him. Fuck you, James. Tom Cruise out. I'd be honored if Tom Cruise said "fuck you" to me. Like,
You'd want him mad at you?
no, like it would still be an honor that he knows I exist.
True. And that he hates your guts.
I mean, it's better than him not knowing I exist, which is what I'm working with now.
Oh my god.
That's like the life goal is to make Tom Cruise know you exist.
One day.
All right, man, that was good. All right, that wraps movie news this week, everybody. Lots to cover. Hope you enjoyed it. And obviously, we talked about our Alien Romulus episode, which is dropping tomorrow. Don't miss it. Everything we know. It's not spoiler free. We just break down the trailer, our theories. We kind of go shot by shot. Like, what does this mean? What do we think this means? We talk about where the timeline possibly is. Is it on LV-426, the moon from Aliens, possibly? And just break down our expectations of the movie and how excited we are for it, as well as we had the showrunner from Acapulco, Austin Winsberg, as well as actor Raphael Sir Brian on the show as well. We talked about season 3 and just the entirety of Acapulco on Apple TV Plus, which was so cool to have them in studio. Don't miss that on Wednesday.
It was great. They talked about the entire process of making a television show, which is really great insight.
Yeah, very lucky and fortunate to have an actual showrunner and a star on the show, which is awesome. Don't miss that on Wednesday. We learned so much about what goes into showrunning a TV series as well. It was just some cool stories from them. And other than that, be sure to become a patron today at patreon.com/Raiders of the Lost Podcast. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews on Spotify and Apple. And take care, everybody.
See you next time.
Thank you for watching Raiders of the Lost Podcast. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well, notifications for sure. Listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere you can listen to podcasts. And be sure to check out this other content we have on our YouTube channel.